Can you hear me now? All right. Hopefully you can hear me now. Hello, everybody. I hope you're having an awesome Monday. That's what I had said. And I'm just trying to post this onto Patreon, which it's not liking. Okay, so how is everybody on this fabulous Monday? Good, I hope. Is the Prusa too loud in the background? I hope it's not too loud. I feel like I'm super behind on orders, so I'm basically going to be printing 24 hours a day for the next couple of days to get caught up. Okay, good. I'm hoping that the little mic is helping, because for me it's like super loud. I think it's louder than it actually sounds. I think this mic is so directional that it's helping. Hi, Dave. It's pretty loud. I mean, I haven't really tried silent mode at all, but it's pretty noisy, I have to say. It's not the noisiest printer that I own. That goes to the Trinus. But it is by no means the quietest, which actually went to the Anet. So, I thought for starters I would just talk about, I didn't really get any mail this week other than the spool of filament that's right back there, which is the Polyalchemy Yellow, which is, I wish I could tell you the name of it. I can't remember. Sun something or other. Maybe I could be making that up. Stand by. Let me look. Polyalchemy. That is the Summer Days. I was close. Sun something. So I got that, and then I also got the purple in, what is it, Nightshade? Man, I did not come prepared, guys. Sorry. Yeah, Nightshade. And the purple is so cool. It looks so pretty. It's like a nice, pretty bluish violet, like super rich purple, but with a blue undertone to it. It's really nice. I love it. So I've been printing with both of those a whole lot over the last couple of days. Otherwise, I don't think I got anything else in the mail, which is fine. I know, seriously, get with it. I'm a mess. And partially I'm a mess. Let's just jump into the channel update. I'm a mess because my laptop is being shipped back to the manufacturer tomorrow, which means that I've been on backup and transfer mode for the last 2 days, and I still have so much left that I need to install on the temporary laptop that I don't really know why I'm holding a live stream, because I seriously have so much to do on top of putting orders together. So basically, I don't exactly know how content is going to look on the channel over the next couple of weeks until I get my laptop back. I don't know how long it's supposed to take. They said it could take up to a month. I'm going to be shipping it UPS 3-day to get it to California as quickly as possible without breaking the bank. And then from there, it could take anywhere from a week to 2 weeks for them to repair it, unless they're missing the piece that they need, and then it could be even longer. The laptop that I'm using is a okay laptop. It's not anything near like what I'm using currently, but it's a decent substitute. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to be able to do. If push comes to shove, I can always live stream on my phone. But in terms of producing actual content, I'm not quite sure how exactly that's going to work, because I don't think the replacement laptop is good enough for any of the editing software I've been using, and I don't know how much I'll be able to do with Movie Maker. Basically, I'm going to have to play around with it, so I'm hoping that you guys will bear with me over these next couple of weeks. I am also going out of town. I will be going to Poland on the 21st of September, so I will probably be radio silent for the most part. I don't know what kind of internet connection I will have. I don't know what kind of wireless connection I will have. So I may be pretty silent for about a week to 10 days while I'm out of the country. And I'm hoping by the time I get back, my laptop is safely back and things are kind of back to normal. Yeah, I'm in like panic mode over not having my laptop. So much so that we didn't have a spare laptop in the house. And everybody was telling me you should get a desktop. Well, that's fine and good, except for I would say half of my work gets done not at a desk. In fact, every hour of my lunch break is spent, every day, an hour on my lunch break is spent on my laptop doing designs or editing or whatever needs to happen. And then I come home and I sit on the couch and talk with Nick and am on my laptop some more while we're watching TV or what have you. So I'm rarely actually at my desk. Hi, Heather. So the thought of not having a laptop made me kind of panic. So then I was like, well, what am I going to do? I can't do my Etsy job. I can't do my design work. I can't do my YouTube job without having a laptop. So I bought a temporary solution. Joe Mike was nice enough to offer me a temporary loaner, but I just thought it would probably be a good idea for Nick and I to have a replacement in the house in case something comes up on his or my end, so that we can at least be prepared. What's happening in Poland? So we have some distant cousins in Poland, and they decided to host a family reunion. So my parents and my brother and I are all flying to Poland with, I think there's 10 other family members from the U.S. flying over there. So it's going to be entertaining, to say the least. I'm super excited. I don't know if it's a place I would have ever been like, I'm going to go to Poland, or any place that was really on my list of places to go in the near future. But when you have an opportunity like that, you can't pass it up, especially since the cousins that we're going to see all speak English, and so we will have translators with us at all times, which is one of the things that makes me a little nervous. I've got some food allergies, so going to other countries to eat is a little nerve-wracking. So having somebody who can help me out, or at least navigate what is typically in the local cuisine, will be kind of nice to have. Do I speak Polish? No, I do not speak any Polish, like at all. My dad speaks a tiny bit, but a really tiny bit. And I think we've got a cousin who speaks fluent Polish that's in the States, that lives in Michigan with the rest of my family. So yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun to go. I don't know what all we have planned over there. I just know that it should be a good time. But yeah, so that will take me out for the count here for a good, I think I'm gone for actually 8 days. And that means I will be missing Maker Faire. So some of you have already heard that through the grapevine or from me saying it previously. I will not be at Maker Faire. Nick is going to try to go for one day. I think on Saturday he's going to be there. Hi, Martin. How do you say rum in Polish? I don't know, but I should find out. So yeah, so I will be kind of out for the count, and I will not be at Maker Faire. I'm totally bummed. I was hoping that Maker Faire was going to be held the same weekend it was held last year, which would have been, I think it was the first weekend in October. And I definitely would have been able to make it. I don't have any 3D printing pens. I did play with my nieces, but I don't have any. I should get one though. That's a good idea. There's a lot of Polish people in Michigan in general. In fact, there's some of the best Polish restaurants ever in Michigan, and I miss them. What's printing behind me? I'm currently printing part of my Jack and Sally mouse ears. The part that's printing right now is the yellow piece. These are 7 pieces all assembled together, and I was quite shocked. I didn't think that they would all go together quite so easily on the first try, and they totally did. So nothing super exciting at the moment. So yeah, so the next, I would say probably the next 4-ish weeks are going to be a little chaotic on the channel, so I apologize in advance for that. I do still have things that I would like to be able to show you. I've got most of the next, maybe, the next glitter filament series, which is going to be the High Five Blue. I have some of those printed. Just a handful of things still need to be printed, which will hopefully happen. Actually, it was supposed to happen at 6 o'clock today, but I made grilled cheese sandwiches with bacon instead. So, food won out over printing. I did learn a couple things about the High Five Blue from Proto Pasta, and that is that it gets really, really stringy, and I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, you can. It gets really stringy if you print it too hot. I started this off, I forgot that I had it set at, I think it was 240. And it was a stringy mess. It's still printed. About halfway up, I switched it to a normal temperature of 220. And from there on, from probably about right here up, it printed fine. So FYI. Yay, Disney stuff. I love all the Disney things. They make me happy. Here is my little flat keychain to show how this looks. I gotta say, I love this filament. I'm so excited to print all the High Five Blue things because it's one of the prettiest filaments I've ever used. I love the color of it. I love the glitter to it. It looks super, super bright blue on screen. It's not quite that blue in person, but the reflective nature of it makes it look even bluer than it actually is. But I love it. So the official video of that will be coming soon. I was hoping to be able to edit that and upload it before the laptop went out, but I only have until the 1st of the month to get them my laptop before my RMA runs out. So yeah. Otherwise, I think that's kind of all I have right now. Does anybody have any questions for me? It is awesome. I have a couple spools of it now, and I can't wait to print more things. I have a whole bunch that I have like a list of things that I want to print in this color. I just haven't had a chance to. And for those of you who might be asking, or wondering, I still have not dialed in my settings perfectly for the ABST from Filament PM. So I'm not going to do that video until I actually have dialed it in, because I don't feel like that's fair that I can't really do a good video on something if I don't actually have the settings dialed in. So hopefully, I think all I need to do is just add a couple more top layers and I think it will be fine. But until that happens, that is going to be put on hold, whereas the Proto Pasta printed immediately with my normal settings, so it made it a little bit easier. Yes, I have a family reunion happening in Poland. Can I recap my issues on the Prusa from last week and how I resolved it? I can. I'm not going to try to search for all of my hairy prints that I have because they're in my filament box, and it's kind of a mess down there. So basically what happened, and you can check a couple pictures on Twitter, and I also posted it on my Instagram, Abuzz Designs. What happened is I went to go print on the Prusa, which I have had no problems with any filaments other than just adjusting temperatures up and down as needed. I haven't had any problems until it came to the glow-in-the-dark filaments. I went to go print with them and noticed it was super, super stringy and blobby. I can show you. Oh, thank you.
I do.
Nick just brought me a Frosty. You're the best. I love you. So I don't know if you can really see, but this is a stringy, blobby mess. And I hadn't had that problem with any other right, hairy prints, but it wasn't the kind of hairy print that you actually wanted. It was just a mess. So I went to go print one of these and realized it was a disaster. So I started trying to dial it in. And I went with your standard options, which was increase the retraction speed, increase retraction, adjust temperature down. I kind of did all of your basics, and some of it helped, but nothing really got rid of the stringing. They want to know if you brought back enough for the whole class.
Well, obviously. And by the whole class, it's you and I, so.
Oh, but the dog.
Yeah, the dog doesn't kill us.
So nothing was really quite fixing the problem. I still had some stringing, which was driving me crazy. Oh, I do have one on the counter over here. Can you see? So you can maybe see the stringing. Maybe if I put it against my shirt, you can see better. Anyway, so this is one of the stringy ones. You can kind of see right here. It's a super stringy mess. So I was trying to fix that, and what I ended up having also a problem with is all of a sudden my prints weren't being very consistent, and it was for two reasons. One of the reasons why my was the printer was heating up when the extruder was at different heights away from the bed, and it was affecting the probe. So it was suggested that I move up the extruder to about 60 millimeters or higher and make it at a consistent distance that you do every time. So I adjusted the G code to home and then move up to 60 before starting heating, and that helped. But then the print just didn't look quite right, and somebody tried to tell me that it was the Z height, that I needed to lower the Z height. It wasn't that at all, and quite frankly that person was really rude, and so I was going around looking for help elsewhere, but everybody just kept offering the same things I had already tried until somebody said, adjust your extrusion multiplier. I had to do that on my glow-in-the-dark filaments, and that seemed to fix all of my problems. So I tried that to fix the problem with the inconsistencies on the bed, and it totally fixed that in a heartbeat. And a side win was that it also fixed my stringing problem completely. It's not 100% gone, but it's pretty gone. I mean, it's gone enough that anything that's left would easily be taken care of, or maybe not even exist at all, depending on the print. So luckily for that person, I'm super grateful for the person who suggested that I increase the extrusion multiplier, and I only increased it a tiny, tiny bit. It went from a 1 to a 1.04, which completely took care of it. So that ended up being how I fixed my stringing issue, which is a little counterintuitive that that's what would have fixed it, but I'll take it. So yeah, so I'm super glad I was able to, I had 4 glow-in-the-dark orders that needed to go out, and I was in panic mode because I couldn't get my glow-in-the-dark filament to work, and I was able to, and orders went out on Saturday and today. I did not know that the Prusa had a way to adjust the extrusion multiplier on the fly. So thanks. I will look at that. I do have to say I've been using Slicer, and I have been managing to crash Slicer the last couple of days by putting in really complicated things. And by crash, the program itself hasn't crashed, but it has made the Prusa freeze on multiple occasions. Good to know. I will definitely look at that any future times I have that problem. I just added a filament profile in Slicer for the Matter Hacker Glow filament, which is the glow filament I'm using, and it's freaking amazing. You should go check out my Instagram. I have pictures of how glowy this filament is. It's awesome. Yeah, so that's what happened, and that's how it got fixed. Does anybody else have any other questions?
You're gonna go right ahead and eat, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
I didn't bring enough for the class, and here you are, just throwing that in their faces.
Sorry, guys. I didn't want it to get melty. Yeah, I have to say the
Martin's asking if you get the ruby and the standard hardened.
I have a just hardened steel nozzle. Princeton.
Princeton, dude. William's asking what your favorite glitter filament is.
So that's hard to say. So far, I think I like the Protopasta Glitter Flake the best because it is the most glittery that I've found. This would probably be a close second, which isn't, I feel like it's not so much glittery as it is metallic-y. What?
Shiny.
Yeah, so the online community, I have to say, I've never posted to the Facebook Prusa group until this weekend. And it was a bit...
hit or miss.
Very hit or miss, I guess, is the best. That is the most PC way of putting it.
Put in VFP terms, it was a shit show.
No, it wasn't quite a shit show. I mean, it was difficult. I had one person who was adamant that my print was horrible and that it was my distance away from the bed, which it obviously wasn't. There was just one spot that the filament didn't lay down, and anybody, I feel like, should have, I don't want to say noticed that, but to me it was fairly obvious that the little tiny gap had nothing to do with the height from the bed and everything to do with the filament just didn't stick in that one tiny spot. Probably because I didn't clean the bed before I printed it. And he was quite rude. And somebody called him out for mansplaining, which I loved. So if you're watching, whoever you were, thank you, because that made my day. But it was a little disheartening at first to see somebody be so adamant that it was one thing when it was so blatantly not. And when I asked, I said, you know, I really just am looking to figure out why this happened on this print, but the previous print was perfect. To which I was told it wasn't perfect. They both look horrible, which obviously was not the case. The picture that I shared is the same one I shared on Twitter. And I don't have it up here anymore, but basically it was one of my ears that was a mess, versus the little 5 square calibration for the bed adjust. So I printed both of those. The bed adjust one printed perfect minus the little filament gap, and the ear was a disaster. And they were printed, I printed the ear first, and then I printed the calibration, and then I reprinted the ear to the same effect. And I just couldn't figure out why. Well, it turns out it was the extrusion multiplier was the problem. Once I fixed that, I haven't had a problem since. So, but it was definitely a bummer to have somebody, I almost towards the end of it was feeling a little attacked by it. And it's just kind of sad to me, because if I had been somebody who has not been doing this for a while, or somebody who really didn't know, I would have been very turned off from ever posting on there ever again. And I think that's really kind of a bummer that somebody could feel that way. I was able to just roll with it and just go looking at some of the other comments that came up, and was able to talk with some people, get some other thoughts, and ended up coming up with a solution with somebody else on the Prusa Facebook group. But it is definitely a bummer that it was handled that way by somebody in the first place. I posted the same thing on Twitter when I wasn't quite getting any answers on Facebook, and it was a lot more lighthearted on Twitter, which was kind of nice. It wasn't so serious. It was very much a, I don't know, maybe have a cocktail and you'll be able to figure it out type of thing, which was a little bit more entertaining. But basically just use this as a reminder that when people post things and they're looking for help, when they tell you that it's obviously not one thing, don't assume that it is just because you think it is. You can't see that thing in person, and sometimes a picture does not do it justice, especially on a slightly translucent filament like a glow-in-the-dark one. So that's really kind of it. Try to be nice to people. There's no need to be mean or rude or mansplain.
So you got a question from Joey Nuggets asking about any mods on the Flash Forge, noting that he tried Flex on it for the first time and it printed beautifully, and that something may be up with the extruder on the Prusa because it doesn't flow for him. So really the question is about any mods on the Flash Forge.
I have not done any other than, okay, I shouldn't say any. A couple things. I changed my nozzles and put on all metal hot ends from Micro Swiss, which was one of the best things that we could have done. And we print on a piece of glass. I use regular glass from the hardware store and haven't had a problem. I know people don't necessarily recommend that, but the only time I've ever cracked one is when I dropped a wrench on it. And I changed the fan setup. You can see that the fan goes across the entire front. That was because the fan was only blowing on the left side, and I wanted it to be able to blow on both the left and the right to be a little bit more consistent if we wanted to print PLA on both sides. Otherwise, I made no changes to the Flash Forge.
And Travis's awesome job on that.
Well, yeah, and this awesome faceplate, which I love. And I need to talk to Travis because I have another faceplate I want for another printer.
Also, kind of a question from Repcord going back.
Yep.
Isn't it just easier to achieve a good glitter effect as a post-process rather than try to get it in the filament?
They're totally different. So, yes, you can get an amazing glitter effect after the fact. I have done it, and it looks amazing, and I love it. However, glitter is very messy, as Nick will be happy to tell you.
Damn right it is. I had to check my language there.
So glitter is very messy, and then you have to worry about sealing it in, which you can do a couple different ways. I use, so I put down a layer of glue, I put the glitter on top, and then I seal it once it has dried with another layer of glue with fine glitter mixed in, because gluing on top of glitter ends up dulling the surface. Anyway, it's kind of complicated, but in the end, yes, you can get an amazing glitter effect. However, the glitter will still be able to flake off, and you can still end up with a mess. When it's inside of the filament, there is no glitter mess anywhere. It stays in the filament. It does not stay in your extruder. It just goes from the filament onto your print, and it's fabulous, and it's just kind of fun to not have to. So if you don't feel like post-processing something, you don't have to worry about it. Also, something like this where you have really fine details, trying to get glitter on here would end up looking like a big blob, whereas when you do just glitter filament, you still get all of the detail with the glitter effect. I didn't really have a problem with my fan only being on or off, but it's, I feel like it's not as powerful of a fan as it could be. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really have any problems. I do think that the fan setup that's currently on there is not the best fan setup in general. Glad I could help with the glitterification. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love me some glitter, but it is quite easy to print with glitter and have that glittery effect. And sometimes it's just kind of nice. Like my snowflakes at Christmas were all done in Protopasta. Well, not all, but a lot of them were done in Protopasta glitter flake, and it just made for a really nice look.
So you get Duckrut asking, which printer gets a name?
The Trinus, I need a nameplate made for the back of the Trinus, which is named Beastie from Maleficent. The Flash Forge is Furiosa. The Prusa still needs to be named, and the Anet will need to be named. I don't know if you've officially decided on Sparks, Ashy. Yes, I learned from Joel's mistake on printing flex on PEI. Don't do it.
Joey was also asking for you to try some Ninja Flex on the Prusa, looking for the experience compared to the Flash Forge.
Yeah, I will. I only have a very little amount of Ninja Flex left. I think there's only... I think I still have some left. If not, I might have to get some, but I will.
You get a follow-up from Repcord as well regarding the glitter. I'm going to have to remember to get media credentials. It's only one question, but anyway, have you noticed glitter filament or other heavy additive filaments to be less reliable or more brittle?
I haven't noticed them to be less reliable so far. I have not noticed them to be more brittle after printing, but I have noticed them being more brittle before printing. Similar to the carbon fiber filament from Protopasta that's super brittle before you print with it.
That's so awesome.
It's awesome after the fact. After you print with it, it's super sturdy, but before printing, it snaps super easily. I don't think I still have a piece of that up here, but
What, carbon fiber?
No, the glitter. I had that string of glitter. I don't know what happened to it. So I haven't noticed that it's been more brittle after printing it. When I test ears and stuff, I throw them on the ground to see if they shatter. They haven't so far, even like the ones from Filamentum that have a little bit of glitter fleck to them. I haven't printed any in Protopasta yet, but I will. That will be a Christmas special that will be happening. But yeah, I haven't noticed any issues other than that. What are you doing? Oh, Nick needed his Frosty too. But in terms of reliability, the only ones that I've had a problem with are the ABS, and that's simply because I rarely print with ABS, so I really don't know what I'm doing. I shouldn't say I don't know what I'm doing, but it's not...
It's not your forte.
It's not my forte. I haven't printed with ABS since I did... my makeup brush holder, and that was a year ago now. Hi, Greg. Welcome to the stream. Did I miss any other questions?
No, I think we're up to date on the questions.
We're up to date on the questions.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless I missed one, but that doesn't happen, so.
Yeah, I do have some other flexible that I will be testing out here in the near future. So we'll see how that goes. I'm kind of excited. I love testing filaments out. I was telling Nick, I love testing filaments and I love testing printers. And he asked about my creative side, and it's like, yeah, I don't get me wrong, I love the creative side of everything too, but there's only so much creativity in my brain on any given day, and sometimes I feel like it gets completely used up between work and ears and editing videos and everything else, that sometimes it's just nice to test out things and see how it goes. My printers are doing fabulous, thank you.
Say Greg with the hard-hitting questions.
They're doing good. I mean, they're all silent at the moment. That one will be running again soon. Let's pop this off real quick and...
Oh, why you gotta do that, Greg? Come on, man.
What?
Behave.
Well, that's the only one not doing well at the moment. Yeah, the Prusa just prints so well. Just looks so nice. It's like blinding. Yeah, no, the printers are all doing well, minus the Anet, which is still in pieces. Everything else is good though. It will be back up and running soon, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I'll get around to it.
Possibly this weekend. Maybe.
For the last 2 weekends. This one's a 3-day weekend, so maybe.
Oh, it is a 3-day weekend. Does anybody have any fun plans for this Labor Day weekend? Those in the U.S.? I will be spending it in the studio and painting a bathroom upstairs. Which means Nick will also be spent painting a bathroom upstairs. Have I tried the CR10? I have not. There were already a lot of people who had tried it. As much as I love the idea of having a massive CR10, I didn't feel the need to buy it at that time.
Yeah, it was an almost, though.
It was almost. I almost pulled the trigger on it, but then didn't. Cabin in the mountains, that sounds amazing.
Well, depends. Are we going to a cabin in the mountain with Greg? 'Cause,
No, that was Chris.
Oh, no, we're good then.
I printed Nick's Open RC cars or tires and flex on the Zix, and that was phenomenal. Day weekend for you.
All right, Dragon Mom.
Wow.
Up in the game. I like it.
I'm jealous. I'm so in need of a vacation. September 21st can't come soon enough.
November 22nd can't come soon enough.
Wow, I'm so jealous, Chris. Cabin complete with hot tub, barbecue, and rum plus plus.
No, that's not rum plus plus. That's rum plus plus.
Finishing off the new office and moving this weekend. That sounds exciting. I think barbecue should come first.
No, it's always rum first.
No, all at once. Wait, does your hot tub have a barbecue in it? Because I don't think that works really well.
The hot tub is rum.
No.
You just get into bubbling
barbecue.
rum.
I'm more worried about the barbecue. And bubbling rum would take away all the alcohol, which would be no fun. We'll be in Barcelona for a week. That sounds amazing. That's on my list of places to visit at some point in my life. All right, so I'm going to look to start wrapping this up because I have so much to do in terms of moving stuff over to the other laptop. So I hope that this next month goes a little bit smoother than I'm anticipating. Wow, that sounds crazy. Congrats on being a panel speaker. That sounds like fun.
Seriously.
But 12,000 people is a lot of people. So I hope everybody has an awesome rest of your Monday. I'm going to go finish my Frosty and print more things. I do have a pre-order currently going on for a bunch of my Halloween ears, which are freaking awesome if I do say so myself. The pre-order ends tonight in a couple hours, and then it will go for normal sale. So if anybody's interested in that, you can check out me on Etsy. You can just go to abuzzdesigns.com and that will take you to Etsy, or you can follow me on Instagram, abuzzaboutEars, which is where I do all of my ear stuff. But yes, I will be printing all the things. I'm just hoping that I can film some of it and edit it and upload it for you guys in the next couple weeks while I don't have a laptop. Or a really good laptop, which is what I have now. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate every single one of you. Huge thanks to all of my patrons over at Patreon. I couldn't do videos like this without your support. I will have a capture card up and running. I could have had it up and running today, except I was kind of running behind since I was trying to get laptop stuff together. So hopefully by the time I get my laptop back, I will be able to hook up the capture card and we will have nice, awesome, crisp quality video for these streams. So huge thank you to patrons. I appreciate you, and to everybody who watches, I appreciate you all. You guys are amazing. And I hope you guys have an awesome night, and I will see you guys again next time.